Drops the phone. All right, hey, what's up, everybody? John Hansen here, bringing another episode of TKO Fanboys, episode 2, titled "The Back of Your Head Is So Beautiful." And with me is my good friend Chris Welty
How's it
again.
going?
And the reason why this episode is titled "The Back of Your Head Is So Beautiful" is because when I was overseas during a USO show,
Was that when you were in Afghanistan or Qatar?
that's when I was in Qatar.
Okay, I can never
Yeah,
remember
it
which
was
one.
when I was in Qatar, and Scarlett Johansson and Chris Evans came down for a visit.
Which is pretty
And-
cool though, because
yeah,
you don't
it
get to do
was,
something
yeah.
like that very often.
And I wish both of them would have signed my shirt. That would have been really cool. So, but, anyways, and then so after while we were getting all herded in, I actually was able to reach in distance to Scarlett Johansson and saw the back of her head, and like, yeah, she's got her back of her head's really beautiful.
Hi, back of your head is so pretty.
But
You want to see my Marvel collection? God, you're so hot. Oh, I need to change my pants now. Could have gone south real fucking quick.
yeah, exactly.
Because I was watching a Ron White special one time, and he was talking about the story about how he met a fan, and this fan straight up looked at him, dead serious, and said, "When I was a little bit younger, I used to have fantasies about you," and he's literally said this right to Ron's face and said, "I'd masturbate to you," and this was a dude.
Jesus
And Ron
Christ.
was like, I never once thought there was anybody in the entire world that would masturbate to an image of me. But I thought about it some more, and I'm like, it's a solid fucking one. So, oh man.
So,
Rough.
so Chris, we all know that DairyCon 2019 is upon us in the next few months, and unfortunately, I'm not going to go. And would you like to elaborate, since you have quite a abundance of DairyCon exclusive posters? Would you like to talk to the viewers and about what DairyCon really is? And I only went once, and it's gonna be a while before I go back to another one.
Okay, well, I'll start off with how I found out about what DairyCon was. DairyCon is basically a Wisconsin-run Transformers convention. It's small. There's only like 225 people, kind of like that. But it's been slow. But it wasn't always 225 people. It was slowly growing over the years. So DairyCon is basically a small Transformers convention here in Wisconsin, and they also have. It's also like a kind of like a combination of a flea market and a toy show. You know, if you're looking for stuff for your collection, or if you want to get something for yourself, or for friends, family, your kids, or if you want to bring your kids along, you can do that. It's family oriented. So it's basically a big flea market / toy show. They got stuff for Star Trek, Star Wars, Thundercats, He-Man, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers, you name it, they got it. They got stuff from like
Power Rangers,
the original Star Wars toys from the 70s. So they got stuff from the 70s, 80s, 90s, all the way up to today. And they got dealers and sellers and traders, and I like to use the word merchants. They got all these merchants from near and far, and people that will come to DairyCon every year. Excuse me. They come from Illinois, Iowa, Minnesota, Wisconsin itself, Chicago, Michigan, Indiana, and I think I heard one time some people all the way from what was it? It was like Texas or California. I know it was Texas. A couple people from Texas heard about it online and came up to try it out, and so but if you're into the more bigger conventions, you go to like a bigger Comic-Con or TFCon or what used to be BotCon, etc.
Well, BotCon doesn't exist anymore, does it?
No, I wish it did, because in my collection I got BotCon exclusives, which I absolutely love, and I think personally BotCon exclusives are better than TFCon exclusives.
True. Like when I was down at TFCon, they had that. I think it had like a G2 repaint of one of the X-Transbot figures for, I think it was one of the Stunnicons that they had, and I think a lot of the TKO guys are really, really bitching at it. Like, oh, Seriously?
The Stunticons, right?
Yeah, it was like a Stunticon for.
See,
Yeah.
a quick side note here, and then I'll get back to DairyCon. You know, that's the other thing too. I see a lot of like KO and third party groups doing the Stunticons, and there's so many different. There's so many different versions of Motormaster and Dragstrip and all these other guys, and it's. You know, it's like, oh my god, they're all good, but which one do I pick? Do I want something more G1 accurate, or something more accurate with the comic books, or something that's all on its own?
Exactly.
And I think that's why we have so many different variations of a character from different companies and places.
Yeah, just like just recently, I watched been watching a lot of Bobby Skullface reviews. Shout out to Bobby Skullface.
I was just watching one of his videos about the Magic Square Optimus
Yeah,
Prime.
I sent that link. I sent the link.
I
to
watched
you.
it. It's good. I'm looking forward to that figure.
Like I can't like it was great seeing of how it compared with, MP10 and MP36.
Yeah.
And if the size difference, like I don't know if you'll be ended up getting the KO version of Megatron or anything like that. Probably eventually, because since you are getting the Magic Square Optimus Prime, and I saw that and I'm thinking, Bobby said that. Apparently, that Magic Square is a little taller than MP36. For me, I kind of like my Megatron to be a little taller.
Well,
instead of Optimus.
Mako Aspire from TKO. I asked him. I said, "Well, once I get this Optimus, at some point, I want to get a Megatron. Which one would you recommend?" And he sent me a link to one you can get on eBay. I think it's like a third party / KO type of figure. He said it's G1 cartoon accurate. It'll look good with your Magic Square Optimus Prime, and it's not too bad. It's only about $90 on eBay.
It's not bad at all.
88. So I thought, it's not bad. As long as it's kind of the same height, close to Optimus, great. Because I've said this before. I have an IDW Megatron and Optimus Prime over there, and then I got a War / Fall of Cybertron. What is it? Optimus Prime and Megatron from those games. So now I just need like a G1 accurate set of figures. I did some reorganizing over there, so you might not be able to find them. But anyways,
cool.
So yeah, we'll get that Megatron at some point. Maybe after DairyCon, I don't know yet. Yeah. But anyways, back to DairyCon. So that's what, as I said before, that's what DairyCon is. Mm-hmm. It's a toy show, and it's kind of like a small flea market, and it's also a get-together with people. They all know each other on Facebook, but they also know each other in person, and there's also exclusive figures you can get. There's like what I got some posters. They give you a lanyard with your name on it, or just a lanyard depending if you pre-registered or not, whatever the case is. And they give you a few other things here and there in your bag of goodies. But the big popular thing for sure are these exclusive figures.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So I know later this year, come December, I'm going to pre-register for 2020. Because next year is actually going to be the 20th anniversary of DairyCon. And DairyCon, I tried to do some research as best as I could, and DairyCon is started out with a gentleman by the name of Fred Work, who still runs it to this day. Mm-hmm. I think he's somewhat well known on TFW and elsewhere, and on Facebook and whatnot. He started this with a group of his friends in Fond du Lac and in the suburbs, and I think originally what I was told was they would get together once a month at a bar and grill, and they would visit each other then, and then they would get a trade or sell or buy each other's toys, whatever they wanted. And then Fred had been to a BotCon or a TFCon or one of them, and he had the idea, well, what if we just did our own Transformers convention? So he got together with his friends at a bar, and they all figured it out, and thus started DairyCon. And I looked up online. There's a DairyCon website. Which, do you want to put a link to that down below?
Yeah, I'll post that link down below.
Post a link for that for their website and the Facebook page.
Okay, yeah, I can do that.
So that way, whoever watches this or listens to it will know where to go and
Right.
look at it. Because I went on the website and they've had technically they've had a DairyCon since 2000, but they didn't have any. They didn't have a website and they didn't have any pictures then. But since 2001, they've had a website, and over the years they've had a series of pictures that I got on my computer, and you can tell in the pictures it's really grown. It got bigger and bigger and bigger, and they hosted it at a hotel in Fond du Lac, a really nice hotel that unfortunately closed down.
Right.
And they had to move it to... One year they moved it to the Holiday Inn nearby, and then they just moved it into the Fond du Lac County Fairgrounds, and they have it in a big building called the Cow Palace.
Mm-hmm.
So everything's a cow, farm, dairy theme.
Yeah.
Of sorts. So with that being said, all the characters have some kind of a dairy farm Midwestern theme to it.
Right.
And those exclusive figures are really cool. If you got a bunch of TFCon or BotCon exclusive figures in your collection, I highly recommend trying to get at least one or two DairyCon exclusive figures for your collection, because this year when I go, I want to try to get at least one or two of them from last year. But the one I really want is a exclusive figure called Heifer. He's basically a G1 Pipes repainted, or no, a G1 Huffer repainted to look like a cow. So I like it. I think it's a funny idea, and I really want it because I think it looks cool. So that's what I'm gonna try to do at this year at DairyCon. But I'm still trying to figure out how I found out about DairyCon. I think I found out about DairyCon because now I remember. I used to be subscribed to. You folks might remember this. Do you remember the Transformers Collectors Club magazine?
Yeah, I remember that. I really did.
I had that for about 2.5 years. It was really cool. And right when they were just about to go out of business, they had a bunch of their stuff for sale. Some of it they were selling on their website, and the rest of it was being sold on BigBadToyStore.com. I found my up in my Lost Light collection. It was the Transformers Collectors Club Chrome Dome exclusive. That was basically just a repaint and a slight remold of the head of a Transformers Prime Wheeljack. So, and I thought, oh, that's really fucking cool looking. So and they were going out of business, and I got it on sale for like, I think $45. And then they sent me one of the last couple of magazines that they were sending out, and and in it was, and because they knew I was from Wisconsin, in it was a little slip promoting DairyCon. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. So I got that in 2015, and it was a last minute thing because I couldn't go up and check out what DairyCon was. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll just go next year. And I did. And it was one of the best experiences that I ever had. Right. I'm like, this is really fun. And it only costs you $20 to go in for the whole day. But if you pre-register, you'll get all the bag of goodies, the exclusive figure, and you won't have to pay to get in. They'll just ask for your name and they'll let you in. And it's really cool. But if you don't pre-register, it only costs you like $10 to get in, which isn't too bad. But if you pre-register, I think it's like $50. But then you get that exclusive figure. And it's like it's fun. It's fun. And they don't just sell toys; they'll also sell comic books, video games, books, but mostly toys for sure.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I went there 2016, 2017. My girlfriend and we went there. And last year I went there with my girlfriend again. But you came, and you were like a kid in a candy store. Because you found that Masterpiece Megatron, which I thought that was a pretty good find for you there. So
I was like, yeah, that's fine.
And then you found that IDW Prowl, didn't you?
Yeah, I found that IDW Prowl. I got Wing up there, Hot Rod, a few other figures. I remember. I exactly don't remember what I got up there, but it's just funny that I go up there. I'm like looking around. Oh yeah, Brainstorm was one of them, which is now customized into Metal Hawk, which is almost done. And
Okay.
yeah, so and then I found that DVD box set of Transformers Victory, and I'm like, oh, dude, this is a fucking great show. Fuck yes. But yeah, it was great. I loved it, and it was a lot of fun. It just sucks. I don't know what was better, TFCon. I mean, TFCon or BotCon. I mean, DairyCon or Bot.
TFCon or DairyCon,
which is better? Like honestly, I'd have to say TFCon is a little bit better because there's a little leeway from TFCon where they can actually get certain people to come say, hey, there's some panels. You want a voice of Cheetor and voice of was it Metroplex or Fort Maximus was there, and then of course the guy who voiced Tarantulas was there. Like, boom. Now if Peter Cullen was there, I probably would have been like,
well, that place is gonna be packed if he's there.
It's Pete.
Well, not just him, but him and Frank Welker. If they're both there, that place is gonna be just fucking packed.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that is the thing. Is like, it would be cool if DairyCon was able to do that, but I'm sure Fred Work and his buddies can only do so much.
Yeah,
but either way, if you go to DairyCon or TFCon, or if you go to TFCon Toronto, or there's one in the UK called I think it's called AutoCon, something like that. I think it's called AutoCon.
It's called something. But
yeah.
If you know the name of it, put a comment down below and.
Or TF Nation, or it's.
I think it was TF Nation. So.
Well, I think there's one in the UK, but then there's also one in Holland. I don't know. I'm starting to remember a couple other ones, but anyways.
Yeah. Anyways.
Either way, if you go to one of these, or if you go to DairyCon, either way, you'll find something for your collection. They're still fun.
Oh yeah.
Whatever suits you.
I found a lot of stuff.
You did, and I did too.
And you're the Chug guy. Then here I am, the third party and masterpiece guy with still some Chug left. It's all in the attic, just laying there collecting dust. And here I am starting to customize everything. And then with my fall of Cybertron Soundwave, I'm gonna repaint probably into Shattered Glass Soundwave, which is just a white Soundwave.
Oh, it's a white Soundwave?
Yeah, Shattered Glass Soundwave is just a white Soundwave.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
I had to bring up the notes here. So that's what DairyCon is.
Yeah.
That's what DairyCon is, and it's a lot of fun. And some of the guys from TKO, including us, go up there. Bedbugs, Catfish, DA, Tyler Fulcher went there one year. A couple other guys that have been on the show also go up there when they can. But yeah, DairyCon is a lot of fun. It's mostly in the spring and April, so you could do DairyCon in the spring and then
BotCon toward the fall.
BotCon or TFCon in the fall or whatever.
TFCon in the fall. My bad.
Either way, whatever in the fall. So that's what DairyCon is, and then our next thing is we would like to give a shout out because of some shout outs. We'd like to give a shout out to the TKO guys because last week on their show that just came out, they gave us a shout out, and Justin Lynette's exact words were, Hanson and Welty have a show about our show, which is
pretty much.
In a nutshell, that's exactly what it is.
So it's, the show that we listened to was episode 69. It was
68.
Yeah, and 68 too. But but 69 was probably their longest show. It was about almost 4 hours. Yeah, it's
just
like
about.
It took me 2 days to go through it all the way. I'm like,
well, I listened as soon as it came out. I listened to the first 45 minutes of it. I went to bed, and then the next morning after breakfast, I just listened to the rest of it. I didn't get done with it till like
it was a good
quarter afternoon.
It was still a good show. It was not. There's some memorable moments, especially when JC had the mute button on.
Man, I got muted. God damn it.
But yeah, it was still a good show. Like, don't get me wrong, it was great. What did they talk about? I'm trying to remember. Did they?
I could pull it up and check.
Yeah, what figures did they talk about? Like, I know they, and then the KO was, what was the KO?
I don't have to look it. I'm going to pull it up on the computer right now and look it up. But while I'm doing that, why don't you give out some shout outs to those guys and a few other shout outs we have.
I'd like to present some shout outs. We would like to first shout out to Home Chef of wonderful, amazing recipes that Chris Welty has been cooking for him and his woman.
Great way to learn how to cook. Great way to just learn how to cook, and everything's in the right proportions. You don't have to go back for seconds or thirds. It's a great way to, watch your weight if you want, and it's fun. It's a great learning tool as well. So,
the next shout out is to the infamous Tyler Fulcher and it was
for being a good sport.
For being a good sport, and it was his birthday not too long ago.
Yeah, happy birthday, Tyler.
Happy birthday, Tyler. Even I said, happy birthday, Tyler. Even a weird
happy
little
birthday, Tyler. It's the KO voice. Yeah, look at this KO, you piece of shit. That's his KO voice. I love it.
And then James Jordan and his amazing Bill Cosby impersonation. Impression. Or no, impersonation, not impression.
Yeah. Okay, so James Jordan was on the TKO Awards back in August.
Oh, that was great.
And it was great. And since then, him and I talk, and he'll send me these voice clips of him on Messenger of him doing this impression of Bill Cosby. And it is just some of the funniest shit I've ever heard. And so a special shout out to him for doing his Bill Cosby impression. It's just fucking hilarious, and just it makes my day every time he does that. It really does. So thank you, James, for doing that.
And then a shout out to Mr. Internet personality himself, Justin Lynette. The man who rejects the concept of catch and release, Justin Catfish, and the destroyer of BotCon, bed bugs.
Maybe do we need to explain that? Or, well, no. If people listen to TKO, they already kind of get the gist of what happened, so we don't need to explain that.
And then the man who learned how to mow grass in a prison yard, DA, and the customizing powerhouse, Mako Aspire,
who has done some pretty amazing custom work. He's good.
Damn, look at that ass.
We'll get to this in a sec.
Okay, all right, cool. All right, then Yul Eblano.
Yep, shout out to him. He's a pretty cool dude.
Cool. Matthew Deluxe Baldwin.
Yep.
Robert D. and his kids.
Okay, so let me explain this real quick. Just a friendly reminder, if you've listened to every single episode of TKO like we do, or like everyone else does, so this was about a year and a half ago now, I guess. It was about a couple of months. No, this is about a month before I was on for the first time, and it was months before you were on the first time. That's honestly one of my favorite episodes of him as a guest on TKO, and his kids in the background screaming and crying because they didn't want to go to bed. It was just hilarious. So, and Robert's a pretty cool dude, so shout out to him, and shout out to your kids, Robert.
And then a shout out to the head of DairyCon, Mr. Fred Work.
Thank you, Fred, for making an awesome Comic-Con, even though it's not that big, but it's still fun. So thank you for DairyCon. Shout out to you, and a big thank you to you yourself. So cheers.
Oh man.
So
the shirt's getting tighter.
My shirt's making it real big. Oh yeah, just like that. So this is some of the stuff that they reviewed, and we'll put the links in the description below. But this is this is some of the stuff honestly, they talked about last week on their show.
They said something about this Orion PAX, which is like a third party, or is it a KO?
To me, I think it's a KO because all it is, it's a Fans Toys Masterpiece cup.
Okay, all right, because I
But
didn't
they
get, I didn't
replaced
get a
the
good
head
look,
with the
good
new
look at it.
mold of Orion Pax, and that's because if you look closely in the back here, how this is at an angle and it goes all the way down like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's for sure just a Fans Toys Masterpiece cup with a different head sculpt.
Okay.
That's literally all it is.
Like, it doesn't look too bad, honestly. Like, it actually...
But it might look okay once it's
Yeah.
colored.
Yeah.
But
Just like when they had the version 3 of MP Optimus starting to come out and they finally released those photos and you're like, oh my god, it's so beautiful. But you look at that price tag and you're like, son of a bitch.
and I'm not much. I don't know. I don't really care much for any Orion Pax mold myself.
Yeah.
It's like I don't really need it. I already know he becomes Optimus Prime, so I don't really need that figure. But okay, so this next one.
Oh, okay. It's the third. It's a third party toilet.
It's a third-party toilet that turns into a transformer, but the transformer is made up to look like a Japanese samurai, medieval Japanese samurai. Cool idea,
God.
but I'm not gonna pay $150 for this tiny figure.
Man, I wish I could get a good look at that girl's face because the first thing I see on this photo is just giant.
She's
Whoa! Oh, we cannot show this, but damn.
no.
Ooh. Damn, she's. Ooh.
Wow. It's like pretty close to pornography almost. Pretty close.
Oh my god.
It's got a plunger. Oh wow! But this would be kind of funny if you put the TKO logo on the sides there and put JC's face right there. Oh, if I could, I'd probably get this figure just to do that and send it to him as a gift. Oh god, that'd be so funny. See, that's between the breasts.
Okay.
I think someone just had too much. Oh, that's right. DA said from last week. He said you could put that in the bowl. Jesus Christ! I think some people just got too much time on their hands and they do shit like this.
I'm just enjoying the skin I'm seeing. That's about it. That's a
I'm
nice.
sure
that's
she's a good looking.
That's
girl,
a nice
but...
ass. That's a very nice ass.
But on the other hand, again, I don't think I'd want to pay $150 for a figure because something like that with how small it is probably about like that big.
Probably.
I would say something more reasonable, but maybe $50.
Yeah.
They just said, "Oh, but it comes with a comic book." Oh, okay. Sure. This one is I'm a little bit more impressed with.
Yeah, I saw that, but like
This is
it's
what is
third party version of Deathsaurus from Transformers Victory. I saw Bobby Skullface do a review of him, and then over at Ben's Collectibles on YouTube did a review on him. The only problem, like, it looks like it looks a great looking figure, and
yeah, I like the wings.
He is one of the villains in Victory when he fought against Starsaber. He's pretty much Starsaber's arch nemesis. The only small minor issue I have with this figure, it doesn't go in scale with MP24. The only thing that will go scale with MP24 with this figure is the entire chest piece, because the chest and the head is its own separate unit, like it transforms it disconnects from the the armor, and then transforms into a robot, which probably would stand probably at least about by the waist with the smaller robot.
Okay, so if I understand this correctly, you're saying that your
Starsaber
Masterpiece Starsaber only goes up to the waist.
No, I mean the small robot that's in it
Oh,
goes at the waist, but overall the entire everything all combined is taller than this version of Deathsaurus. Like, it looks great. It looks phenomenal.
So because I'm dumb here. Okay, so is your Masterpiece Starsaber taller than this?
Yes.
Okay, now I get you. I was thinking this thing was huge and Starsaber was like from the feet to the waist. Like, fuck, this thing is big.
I know.
Okay, so Starsaber is bigger than this
yes,
figure.
Yep.
But see, I like it because the wings are pretty cool looking, and he's got these red eyes, and
Like,
it's from Planet X.
yeah, like I would honestly, depending on the price point, I might actually pick that up because, for one, I like Victory, and two, I already have Star Saber, and three, I guess Death Source would kind of complete that a little bit, even though he is going to be a little puny. But I heard there's supposed to be some third party upgrades coming for this guy, and maybe there might be a need extension. Oh my, go back. I want to look at something. Ooh, that head looks mean though.
But see, what I like about this is you could repaint this to look like the Fallen of the 13 Primes. You can make it all red, black, and gray, and make it look like he's on fire. I think that would be a really cool custom to do, and have him stand next to Megatron.
That would be cool.
So, but I don't know. I don't remember how much this is gonna cost.
I think it was like 156 on TF Source.
It's a bit much in my budget, but
You have to just go on Big Bad Toy Stores because usually Big Bad Toy Stores are a little relatively cheaper.
or TF Direct.
True, very true.
Because that's the other thing I don't get about Magic Square Optimus Prime. When I ordered him from TF Direct because it was only $114. Okay, now stay with me because I went to TF Source, The Chosen Prime, Robot Kingdom, Big Bad Toy Store, and a couple other sites. They all had him listed at anywhere between $130 to $160. So I'm like, okay, but if I go to TF Direct, he's only $114 plus the shipping is included.
Yeah.
So I immediately went to TF Direct. I mean, yeah, it's gonna take longer because of that, but $114 is a lot more agreeable than $160 for that Optimus Prime.
Honestly, yeah.
But that's still better than paying $445 for that Takara G1 accurate cartoon Optimus Prime, which that's still full of shit. That he did that, or that Takara would do that, but
yeah.
anyways, so we got our shout outs done. So those were some of the figures that
They talked about in 69.
which was a week ago for us. But one of the KOs they talked about was a KO version of Bruticus.
There's been so many KO versions of Bruticus, it's not even hilarious.
It's not just KOs, it's again a lot of third party and I think mostly KO toys of Bruticus.
Like, don't get me wrong, I honestly
It's a cool character.
Yeah, it is. And like, I have two versions of Bruticus, right? I have the Fall Cybertron one, the skillets colored, not the one that you have, and then I got my third party / KO of Warbatron, which actually scales very well with my Masterpiece Transformers. That's why it's like, hey, he's big. His vehicle modes are based on real life militaristic vehicles, except Blastoff is supposed to be white, instead he's brown, and then there's no such thing as a blue carrier truck. There are gray helicopters, and of course the Humvee is tan, and then you got the Brawl, which is the tank, and tanks are olive drab, and there are tanks that are camouflaged, and there are tanks that are desert tan. So,
or a dark brownish
color.
Yeah,
and it's just that, like, if you and I know there's a lot of people trying to integrate everything into the figure, because when I was at TFCon and I saw some demonstration footage, like seeing I guess MMC is working on their version of Bruticus right now, and it seems like everything just kind of is all together. Like the hand is stored within Vortex and doesn't really have parts forming and stuff, which I don't have any problems with parts forming because, hey, you're going to have parts either way. It's like when you put a gun in a Transformer's hand, there's parts. Or, for example.
Yeah, that
parts forming right here. These are the spiked tires for Generation 2 Sideswipe. Yeah, it's his name, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, you're still part. Even putting Optimus's axe or his cannon in is still parts forming, one way or another. It's not like, hey, it's all there, or the gun just goes. Okay, the gun's there. It's, you are still parts involved one way or another.
Yeah, but I guess you know, whatever you can afford, which one you want, more power to you, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
I could care less because the Bruticus I have is the closest thing to a IDW version of Bruticus, but it's mostly the War and Fall of Cybertron design styles from those games, mostly Fall of Cybertron game. And I bought that one at DairyCon all together, and when that figure first came out, it was $100 on the market at like Toys R Us. But that third-party add-on kit
Was like an additional 100.
no, the guy that sold it to me at DairyCon, what was it, 2 years ago? Yeah, 2 years ago, he sold it to me, and he told me that when that came out on the market, that third-party add-on kit, it was $75. So
Okay.
I don't remember who he was, but he could have just kind of been a dick about it and just sold it to me both for 175, but I think he had it at 85 altogether, which wasn't too bad. And I managed to haggle with him and bring it down to like $70. So the figure itself, which already had the add-on parts to it, so it looked more accurate with the video game, all that was $80 or no, 70, and I thought I did really good haggling. So
True, very true.
so, and that's the other thing too, is if you want to haggle, you know, DairyCon would be a good place to start learning how to do that.
That's how I haggled my Megatron, because I think the guy was offering like 200. I talked him down to 180.
Nice.
Yeah, so
That's pretty good.
I haggled him with that one.
I'd say that's good, but yeah, I'm content with having something that's in the style of, you know, IDW comic books, the War and Fall of Cybertron games, or, you know, Generations that came out from like 2006 all the way up to 2015, you know, Combiner Wars. I'm content with those designs, but sometimes I do get picky with what I want depending on how it looks. Because I want something that looks cool and looks accurate with whatever I'm really interested in.
Yep, agreed.
So, because that's the thing, like Hasbro will make it accurate, but Takara will step in and make their version, which is
10 times better.
Yeah, so that's what I want to get. Like at DairyCon, I want to get a Takara sideswipe from War of Cybertron, and then another one for you to customize and make into War for Cybertron Sunstreaker. Can you cell shade it for me, please?
I'll have to experiment with it because I never cell shaded anything before.
Okay. If I have to pay you a little extra, that's fine.
I never tried cell shading, but you know, I have other figures I can test it out on. So.
But yeah, I gotta update my DairyCon list later today. So
the next thing you want to talk about was a certain fan film that a lot of people are working on very diligently for almost how long? Almost 2-3 years.
So
since Prime was done, wasn't it?
I think it was a little short while after Prime was completely done. Transformers Prime is probably, besides IDW and G1, Transformers Prime is also one of the most popular versions of the franchise, and I have to agree because the writing was really good, and it was the animation was good. It was very well, good story arcs, good character development.
And RC was really thick too.
Yeah. No, I that's another thing I want to put on a quick side note. I do like that design of RC. They didn't make him pink and white, a girly chick. What?
You said him. It's her.
Did I really?
Yeah, you said him.
Excuse me, but it's ma'am. No, it is ma'am. I will have you know.
Speaking of that, actually, I know it's a little off topic, but
excuse me, I meant to say her, because they made her like that dark navy, cobalt blue and gray and a little bit of black. That looked more badass. But they did do, I think it was a 2012 New York
Comic-Con.
I've seen that where she's in her natural G1 colors and Bumblebee is made to look like a taxi.
Yeah.
I saw that last year, and the year before that at DairyCon, still in the box. So if it's still there, I might pick that up just for shits and giggles. I don't know yet. But yeah, Transformers Prime is great, and because it did so well, a group of fans, especially a gentleman, I don't know who the name of this guy is, but he has been working with some people that are animating it looks like it's gonna be a really well done Transformers Prime fan film titled Transformers Prime Galvatron Revenge. And it's going to have Ultra Magnus, Bulkhead, Springer, Hot Rod, RC.
There's gonna be a lot of characters in it.
There's going to be a couple of Viacons.
Cyclonus,
The Cyclonus, the
Galvatron,
Slipstream, Scourge, the Combaticons.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, if Transformers Prime had kept going for like another 2 seasons.
And also that Ultra Magnus being leader, like an actual leader.
Yeah.
Like in Generation 1, he really
Because we've been watching clips of the progress they've done with the animation on Facebook and YouTube, and they're doing really good. It's like a very high quality fan film, but it looks like it was made at the actual animation studio, the same studio that worked on Transformers Prime for Hasbro, The Hub, and Cartoon Network.
I actually asked on one of their when they made a post for one of their progress things, I asked like, when is this coming out? And they're like, we still got a lot of work to do and stuff like that. And I'm like, okay, cool. It's just. Yeah. And I said, as long as it's done right, and that's the important thing when it comes to making videos and like this is practically unscripted. We don't have a script. We're just
making it up as we go along. It's a full unscripted, unedited live stream, and there was the other post about a week ago of Transformers Prime Galvatron's Revenge, the Facebook page for it. They said if people, we said we appreciate people asking us when this is going to be done, but we won't be able to answer that question anymore because things can come up or whatever, and it could take longer than what we anticipated, and and things like this take time because it's a fan-made film and we all have lives of our own with things going on from time to time. So I would imagine, I think they might have this done maybe at some point within the next 3 years. That would be my bet. Because I don't know I really don't know like how much more of the movie they have to do yet, and then go back in and do more sound effects. Editing.
Making sure that the animation's as clean as possible.
And then they're going to put it in the HD format too.
They want to make sure it's good to go, which is completely understandable. And I'm glad they are keeping the fans informed about how far progress has been going. And I really, one thing I really hope that this film really does, I hope it gives Ultra Magnus justice, because it seemed like in Generation 1 and Season 3 or in the movie, that Magnus never really got that chance to be a leader, or an actual leader, and then came Rodimus and stuff, like he was kind of a shitty leader, to be honest.
But what I do like about the designs are, they look really cool, they look great. I really like Hot Rod's design, because in car mode he's a Lamborghini, but then in robot mode he's definitely based on the IDW style, which I think is really great. And
so if he transforms into Lamborghini, that's technically a Generation 1 reference if he transformed into Lamborghini, but
well, it wasn't really a Lamborghini, it was just some kind of a futuristic car.
Like it probably, if it did look like a Lamborghini, that'd be kind of cool.
But so I'm looking forward to this movie. I had even asked one time, I said, are you going to bring this movie to 4K? And they said, no, we're just going to put it on HD, standard HD. And I said, okay, there's no problem with that, as long as it gets done and is done right. And I would hope that they would give you the option to buy a DVD from them or just download it on YouTube somehow.
Yeah, I guess only time will tell. It's just,
I just hope it gets done so we're able to see it. And plus, I would imagine they at some year for TFCon, they're gonna have a showing for that movie.
Well,
I mean, how could they not with how good it looks?
If they have a showing and it's in Chicago, I'm going. I'm gonna be like,
Yeah.
I'm here to watch this fucking film. As long as people don't say, oh, yeah, the only reason why they made the movie is so that we can buy more, so everybody buys more toys. God, that freaking annoyed the fuck out of me when I was down there trying to watch Generation 1 with a bunch of Transformers fans. And here they are talking yada 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 yada. I'm like, shut the fuck up. Can we just sit here, watch the movie, and enjoy it, bask in its gloriousness? Like, are we gonna have the '07 film come up next, and everyone will just be like, "Pete, yeah, this movie sucks. I don't want to watch this."
Yeah, well, that's the thing too. Is like, Catfish on TKO was saying that Transformers Bumblebee was trash.
It wasn't.
It wasn't. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just the fucked up thing is like, people who loved the Bayverse movies hated Bumblebee movie, but then the people that hated the Bayverse movies went nuts for Bumblebee. And then there were some people that were kind of in the middle. They didn't like both films, but they want more of the fighting on Cybertron, which the director of Bumblebee wants to do that. He wants to do a sequel where it's mostly just takes place on Cybertron and it's all that fighting. Like,
Yeah.
that's what I want to see too. I would love to see that. But I think I think Transformer fans are hard to please, and this goes the same thing for Star Wars fans. But you can't. But again, people don't realize you can't go through your entire life trying to please everybody.
Yeah.
Because then you don't please yourself, and it doesn't work that way, and it won't work out. It just won't. You can try all you want, but it won't. It just won't. It is what it is.
Yep.
If you like it, you like it. If you don't, then you don't.
Exactly.
Let's just keep it at that. So yeah, Transformers Prime, Galvatron's Revenge. We're looking forward to it. I bet you anything when that comes out, someone is probably gonna want not me. Don't worry, not me, but someone else out there will probably want a figure that looks like it came from that movie for sure.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It just would take a lot of time, and I'm actually kind of glad they are doing this fan film because, it seemed like after the sequel to Transformers Prime was Robots in Disguise, which was not a very highly received series, but there was
it's okay.
There were some points in it where they're like, hey, there's Soundwave, and this Soundwave's back, and it ties in. And of course, with Bulkhead, Ratchet, Optimus.
Yeah, it's okay.
It was okay. It's just that some people didn't really like it, and I kind of see that Bumblebee was trying to become leader in Optimus's absence, but yet Optimus comes back.
Well, I think Galvatron's Revenge will be a more accurate sequel to Transformers Prime, which I think is something we really want. And again, Transformers Robots in Disguise from 2015. It's all right, It's all right. But on the other hand, I think Galvatron's Revenge would be a better sequel to the whole Prime series.
Mm-hmm.
So we got that covered, and then we should talk about that custom.
Yeah, let's talk
about the custom I found. Yeah. So someone like TKO, the TKO podcast that we listen to, they always pick a custom of the week, and we kind of want to do the same thing, but we want to look at something different than opposed to what they looked at.
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't make sense if we're looking at the same thing they did. Because at this point, we'll have already seen what they were looking at in the customs corner.
Mm-hmm.
Or custom spotlight. Before we got here to do this, I found on TFW the minor customs build section.
Minor would just been repaints, and I know there's a few of my customs on there. I just don't know where.
So someone had posted a Combiner Wars Junkion. They took it was one of the who's the chest and back for the Technobots?
The chest was Scattershot.
Yes, Scattershot.
The tank was Nose Cone. Then there was Lightspeed.
Because I know they make Computron.
And then there's the motorcycle guy. I think the motorcycle guy was Lightspeed, wasn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
It
so
was.
It was a Lightspeed base, but I think also it was also based off of the groove for Defensor.
Okay.
So I think it was first groove, and then they did the Lightspeed, and then they had the other.
Yeah.
Then they did they took the base figure, repainted it, and modified it to look like a Junkion.
Yeah, so this person took a scatter shot and repainted it so it has like the Junkion red, orange, yellow, and dark brown color scheme, and changed up the head a little bit, just basic repainting and some slight modifications, and then they took a couple of Junkion figures, modified them so they could combine, and then it works, because what it was in the G1 series and in the original movie they could combine together, and merge together, and I thought it worked out as a really cool idea, and it looks great because there's a picture of all of them combined with a few more Junkions in front of them, and
Right.
I'll have to admit that looked pretty cool. Because the person that made that one found out that someone else on TFW was gonna make one, they decided to do it. So, but no,
cool.
it's a really cool custom. It is. It was just kind of a neat idea. Because no one's ever done that.
Awesome.
I still don't care for the Dinobot combiner thing because they never did that in the comic books or the G1 series.
They actually did in the comic books.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
The Marvel ones from the 80s?
I think it was not in the 80s, but I think it was like a Dreamwave or something where they had a comic called The Beast Within. That's where all the Dinobots combined into something called the Beast instead of Volcanicus or Shuriken, whatever they called him when they had the.
Well, I know they didn't do that with IDW and the G1 series, so I'm a little bit more faithful with those two. But to me, it makes more sense for Junkions to do that because they're Junkions. They can
do anything.
They can almost do anything with the resources they have, even though it's a piece of shit.
Pretty much.
So yeah, shout out to that dude for doing that custom.
Yeah, definitely.
It was a really good custom. Got those for our discussion topic. What do we got? We got what, another 10 minutes yet?
Yeah, sure can.
All right, well, we got another 10 or 15 minutes tops yet. So why don't we do, I know we were going to talk about this in our next episode, but since we got some time yet, the rise and fall of Impossible Toys.
Yeah, like I don't know much about it, but
well, I've had a little bit of experience.
And I think you have the Impossible Toys
no, that's iGear.
That's iGear.
Those are the iGear Quintessons.
What about those guys? Those are Impossible Toys, right?
Yeah, I'll bring them over. I'll show them to the camera. But
the Daniel and Spike.
Yep, this is all I have left of Impossible Toys.
Yeah, let me take a pick at one. I'm curious.
So, for those that know or do not know, Impossible Toys was a third-party group, almost kind of like a KO group, a combination of both, and they didn't last very long. They were kind of half-assing this stuff. I mean, they had some interesting ideas, but they weren't.
At least Daniel's head actually has a face on it.
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to be able to do that, but
I'm thinking does this move? It's it seems like a little Lego guy, except for shittier posability.
Yeah, I mean, I kept this just because for shits and giggles. This is the Impossible Toys. You can see that right there, changing colors because of my light.
Dad, I broke my.
You fucking dumbass! Ah, damn it! I'll get the leather belt and beat your ass.
How can I? I'm in an exosuit. I'm
fucking
Daniel.
Beat your ass! God damn it, your mother!
I don't know who was more annoying, and was it in the series? Was it Daniel or Spike? I think Daniel was the more annoying one, wasn't he?
Well, I just think in terms of season 3, I just think his father became a shitty parent because his kid should have been on Earth in a fucking real school. But it was the 80s. It's kind of campy, so
Yeah,
at least it wasn't campy like the 1960s Batman, Adam West.
that
That would have been really bad. Oh, fuck. So this is what I have of the Impossible Toys Daniel and Spike exosuits from the G1 series, season 3, and the original 1986 movie. So I got these, I don't know, I think they were like $30 when I got them. So Impossible Toys was a third-party company, and they had done a series of toys. They were all G1. They had...
I think they also did a Sorry Sumdac.
Yeah, they did Sorry Sumdac, her dad, and Captain Fanzone from
yeah.
Transformers Animated, but all they were just little
like,
tiny figures.
They didn't even move.
They were just like little tiny statues you could put with your Transformers Animated figure. So it was more of an accessory.
I don't know. Was it Hasbro that did Miko, Raph, and...
Yeah, Hasbro did Miko, Raph, and Jack.
Jack, yeah.
Because at one point you could get those just little figurines of them with the Transformers that came out at the time.
Right.
So, Impossible Toys did some characters from the G1 movie, and they were just opposable action figures. They didn't transform or anything. There was like Kranix. They did the Quintesson Scientist, a Quintesson Five Faces of Death, and they did the Prosecutor, the Executioner, Scientist. I'm gonna look it up on my computer right now.
So it seemed like Impossible Toys was doing all the kind of...
They were trying to be more faithful with the G1 stuff.
And trying to keep the like a little organic stuff going on too. Like,
if I can find it, yeah, this is one of them.
Yeah,
Kranix, and all it was just a posable figure, and it didn't transform or anything. And you can find these on eBay. They did an Alpha Trion, which it looked cool, but again doesn't transform. They did the other character from the movie doesn't transform,
which we don't know his name.
I remember. Oh, this was
Sharkticon. I mean the Alligator Con, or
yeah, the Alligator Con guard, which is pretty cool. So I mean they were. I mean, if you were a big G1 fan, I guess they were okay to have. Here were the, these were just. Oh yeah, you can move their arms. That was about it, like a Kenner figure. But yeah, pretty much, that was about it. But this is the other one I had, the Spike and Spark Plug.
But they're just like a piece of
really tiny figures. It's
it's a 4-piece set. I thought I said a piece set.
No, 4-piece set, and they were just real. This one was okay because it didn't transform, but
it's the Nightbird.
The quality of how it was built. Yeah. They did a Nightbird from, and it's one of my favorite episodes, Transformers. And what was it? Enter the Nightbird.
Yep.
Enter the Nightbird. At first it looks cool, but I just think it could have been executed a lot better.
Mm-hmm.
I had one, but I think I sold it on eBay to somebody, and this was Prosecutor.
Mm-hmm.
This one was okay, but I sold that one. This was the Quintesson Guard. Quintesson Guard. The Executioner. That's how they marked their boxes, was like Quint 01, Quint 02, Impossible Toys right here. And, you know, if you just Google Impossible Toys Transformers, you'll be able to find them and know what we're talking about.
Yeah.
But a lot of these you can just find on eBay now. I think here's one of the exosuits in the packaging.
Yeah.
Which, this was their biggest. They were trying hard to
create a Terrorjet.
It's definitely G1 style, but
look at the size of that head.
Now I had one. They did Tetra Squadron figures from the G1 series, very accurate with the show, but the quality of the plastic they had used, is pretty shitty, and the way to transform it because of this wedge shape, you know, right here,
Yeah, it's
and
like
how
the-
it comes
yeah.
down an angle. It was very awkward to try and transform, and
It does look like a very awkward.
it was, and I unfortunately broke off one of the wings. And I was like, well, no wonder why I got this for $30 on BigBadToyStore.com, because it's so fucking cheap. It was like practically a shitty KO in itself. And unfortunately, it was one of those things where it looks cool, but the quality of it is just
Right.
shitty.
But yeah.
Yeah, see, they got Alicon, Quintesson Alicon figure still in the box on eBay for $85. Arbalest, Kranix, and then they came out. I remember now. Remember these ones? They came out with these little mini bots, microcars.
Yeah, that's cool.
So this one, meh. Yeah, they came out with like a repaint of RC, all green and white, and I think they did do some Energon cubes. Decent, I guess, but this was their biggest thing, was the Quintesson, and I think that was Impossible Toys.
How big was that thing?
Impossible Toys Quint 01 Judge Quintesson Transformers G1 movie figure loose and in good shape for $150 on eBay.
The question is how big it is, because if it's something like talking about yay tall, or like the one you have, which is
Oh, that's smaller. That is way smaller, because the Quintessons I have, that's eye gear.
like if
This
it's,
one was like, it was like this big.
Okay, well if it's that big compared to this, then yeah, possibly. Like I wouldn't say I wouldn't buy it, but
Because I'll show you. Yeah, here.
guilty of innocence. That looks alright. Like, is that was Bobby? Pretty sure Bobby would have like a
Yeah, that's how big it was. So it's definitely bigger than the
Yeah.
iGear one. But you can get that iGear one for like $12 from China, and I got 2 of those on eBay. But this was honestly their best figure. It really wasn't. Just really cool. So they were, I think sometimes they were half-assing it and trying. This is the one I had. And other times it was just...
either you half-ass it or don't ass it. So
I think that was those were the only good figures, were the Quintesson figures.
and then you got these paperweights here. So.
Yeah, basically a paperweight, and I mean these ones scale up with the
Knock pudding pop. Wait,
what was that?
Extra Zero? Is that Justin Lynette? I mean, not James.
I don't remember.
Huh.
I remember. Well, hi.
Hi.
So, but anyways, these scale up. These, I mean, if you put these with the iGear Quintesson, it's a chug size Transformer. Yeah, then it scales up
It
really
is.
good.
It is James Jordan.
Oh, motherfucker! Hey, we just gave you a big shout out earlier.
Yeah.
So if you get a chance when we're done, go back and watch it. But whatever, we gave you a big shout out. So thanks, James. Yes, I'm the Quaalude King. I'll give you my pudding pop. Yes,
He said, "I'll rewind away."
Nice. So, anyways, but yeah, if I were to get like my custom IDW Rodimus and put it right here, I think it would look perfect.
Yeah.
But then see, Takara, my Masterpiece Bumblebee came with a Masterpiece version of Spike in the exosuit.
Like, okay, let's see.
But see, that looks more accurate and that looks better.
Like, yeah, it looks. Yeah, okay.
But
it does.
Now put that next to the Quintesson and see.
All right, so. Well, this is obviously. Like, this should be bigger because it's like a baby. It's like a baby. It's a little baby.
Well, maybe Quintessons come in all different shapes and sizes.
True, that is true. But all right, let's do.
But either way, that
we-
is better than the Impossible Toys one.
Since we got this overpriced piece of MP plastic.
No, that's the real Takara, not the KO version. Because I ordered that and the Masterpiece Bumblebee right from Big Bad Toy Store.
I know because I have.
So I know for a fact it's the legitimate Takara.
I have the Hasbro.
Okay.
Legitimate one. But all right, so anyways, you got this, right? You got this little figure, but it has no face. You got Impossible Toys. It has a face. So technically speaking,
no, this has a face. It's just the eyes haven't been painted.
That's what I'm trying to get at. But
right.
But it's like I don't know if they can.
The quality is different.
Yeah, the quality is really different, but
different ways of manufacturing, and they do that so.
Regardless,
Dr. Wu did a face for the officials. Oh, I'll have to look that up.
Really? I know Dr. Wu did a
Dr. Wu, everyone's a new day.
Dr. Wu did a Rambo kit for MP Sideswipe.
Oh, that's awesome.
So he's like, I've been actually thinking about getting it just to be like, hey, he has the badassery, I guess.
Dr. Wu. Well, these are mostly Dr. Wu is mostly accessories.
Yeah. Wait. What was?
Oh, I think that's. I don't know what this is. A Wheeljack one. An upgrade kit.
Hobby.
Oh, he's to give him swords and. Okay, now I see. Well, that's kind of cool.
Ah.
Making him a super Wheeljack. That's pretty baller. But yeah, so Dr.
Thanks,
Wu.
James. Oh, the Rambo kit's is good. A bit pricey. Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I know Dr. Wu did a.
Click that one right there.
This one?
Yeah.
I know. I remember Dr. Wu did an accessory thing where you could get a pistol and a cane for your Generations Bumblebee to make him look more. More IDW accurate, which is pretty cool. I never got it though.
Oh, that's really nice.
Because I don't like the idea of Bumblebee having a cane. Just no.
True.
But this kind of reminds me of that sword that was featured on SirToys.com that JC wanted that had the chicken at the base of the sword. Colonel Sanders would be proud.
What about having cocaine?
Cocaine.
All
right, Mr. Cosby, what does cocaine have to do with any of this? I'm a little lost here.
Very true. Well,
we have one viewer. That's better than nothing.
That is true. That is very true. Well,
it's like no, let me take
cocaine.
Oh, is that a pun? Because Bumblebee had the cane. Okay, I think it is a pun. I'm retarded.
You said yes. Yes, it is.
Okay, now this is something I want.
Yeah,
a jetpack.
Actually,
that would be dope as fuck.
Actually, there's a few different versions of the jetpack. Actually, I think there's a few.
Oh fuck! I should put this on my watch list. That is really cool. I should totally add to watch. I'll pick this up around DairyCon.
You clicked add to cart.
I did. Oh. Whatever. I'll fix it later. I don't give a shit. No, these are really cool. But no, man. Oh, you can even get some upgrades for your Masterpiece Prowl.
I don't have the MP Prowl. I have the MP.
Yeah, but see, these look like Gatling guns. They should be more like the missiles, G1 accurate missiles.
I think they did. I think Dr. Wu did make the G1 accurate missile launchers, and I know he did a lot of. Dr. Wu did a lot of stuff for TF Prime, and I think he did the Wheeljack head sculpt with no face plates. Right, go back up.
Wait,
right there.
What is that?
It's Wheeljack, and with a grenade.
Oh, it comes with a grenade.
Yeah. He was a wrecker.
Yeah, in Prime he was. Out of stock. Fuck, that looks cool though.
Yeah, it does.
I still need a briefcase for my brainstorm.
Because
the comic books.
Yeah,
Can you make one for me and make a couple grenades for my Wheeljack?
Oh, they also made the clear blue ears for Wheeljack too for Dr. Wu.
But speaking of Wheeljack, I do want Iron Factory. I just saw this last night, and I actually do want it, but it doesn't come out till around DairyCon. Go figure. It's no, it's Iron Factory's Wheeljack, and I think that looks pretty good.
Yeah, it does looks pretty. Looks really good, actually. As a matter of fact.
That does look really good, and it's only $32. But see,
It's about the same price you paid for your MP, isn't it?
Which MP?
Your Wheeljack.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
see, how big is this though? Because I'm not a big fan of the legend size.
It's a legend scale.
James, if
So-
you're still watching this, do you know how big this Iron Factory Wheeljack figure is? Because I'm a chug guy, a deluxe guy. I don't really care much for the legends size. Oh, it's standard legend scale. Fuck.
It's probably
So it's only like maybe that tall. It's probably as tall as Guzzle.
it probably is about it could be about 4-inch figure, maybe a 6, because those legends scaled figures have a lot of posability in them.
Oh fuck! I'm losing shit. You said 6 inches.
Yeah.
You 6 inches, right? That's about.
I'm not thinking that size. Maybe. I was 6
Well,
inches.
that's not too bad for a 6-inch figure.
6 inches is about an SH figure style figure, so maybe it should say. Does it say the size? 9 centimeters, 3.54 inches.
So it's only 3.5 inches.
Yep.
Oh fuck that, man! I want the chug life. Big chug this. That's what I want, man. But oh, damn
Hey,
it.
that's on you, man.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sorry if you saw that, but no,
Pretty sure a new Wheeljack is coming.
Well, I still gotta say, I think it's bullshit. Back in July or June, when I ordered that Masterpiece Wheeljack, they were just coming out with the G1 Cartoon Accurate Wheeljack Masterpiece. Which is like that, but this is all blue right here on the windshield.
Oh, I see what we talked about, the Dr. Blue ears. Right there, the blue one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That looks nice.
There was that fan boat a while ago with VS packs.
Yeah, that looks nice, but I guess now with Masterpiece stuff, I guess I would want it to be more G1 Cartoon Accurate, but
Impactor versus Mirage 1. Oh, okay, cool.
But the MPs I have now I'm still content with those. I'll just be happy with what I got.
But Wheeljack versus Spinister wasn't one of them.
So I mean, see, they even have upgrade kits for
the
Prime figures.
Prime figure, yeah. That's for the that's the first edition Prime,
Nice.
which was a figure I wanted to get a long time ago, but I never.
I found out. Like last year at DairyCon, I got the Masterpiece, the first generation RC.
Yeah, because I was there.
And the first generation Bumblebee, because those were the only ones I liked from Prime. So.
Yeah, because I was there.
So like, yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, I was watching this video earlier today on about MP Grimlock, right? And honestly, I like MP Grimlock. I really do. Like, don't get me wrong,
he's good.
I don't get me wrong. The new Fans Dolls, is it Grinder? I think is what he's called. Looks great. It looks phenomenal. Don't get me wrong, but do you really think I have that much money to buy an entire set of Dinobots? No, not at the moment. No, I don't. And this guy is he's the Lazy Eyebrow reviewer. He does a lot of stop motion reviews and stuff. So if you ever feel free to look him up. He's actually got some good content, and yet he canceled his channel not too long ago. But yet his YouTube videos are still out there. But like, he seemed to really wasn't a really big fan of Grimlock, and I'm thinking, why? It's a great. I after what I do with my Grimlock, that's like one of my best figures I customized because I did not like the Hasbro gray, and technically, Fans Toys has the same.
Well, I think that gray's okay.
Yeah, I agree, James. That MP Grimlock is good, but he got the gray and the G2. Nice. Yeah, the G2 the G2 one is the blue one, which actually is not a bad color, but
Well, I don't mind G1 gray color Grimlock. I mean, the gray on my Dinobots, I think that looks good. But I don't understand, and James, you can chime in here too. I don't understand why with the G2 Transformers they made Grimlock blue. That just looks like, to me, that shade of blue they use, it looks like some kind of a, I don't know, like a BotCon exclusives or something, or I don't know. There's a simple reason. What would that be, James?
buy more toys.
Yeah, most likely. But I just think
The '90s, they wanted the toys pop on the shelf. Okay.
okay.
Is that why Sideswipe is black then? Because he just kind of would just seem to blend with the background.
Excuse me, that's racist.
Oh, okay.
I'm just fucking with you, dude.
Okay.
But no, this G2 style Sideswipe, right? Okay. This is really cool, I'll admit. This is really cool. And a kid would have wanted
Bold colors that stood out rather than a hand-me-down.
Okay, that is true.
Very true.
But see, now this is really cool. There was an argument that they were new.
Oh, okay. All right.
They were new. Well, James, the other thing too, though, is like back in the early 90s, so they got new paint jobs and giant weapons. Yeah, kind of like that. Giant ass weapons.
Big, beefy, 90s, edgy,
big,
gritty.
Like Judge Dredd weapons and shit like that. Like Starscream and Prime got
voice packs.
Voice packs.
Okay, all right, yeah.
So
G2 kind of got a little crazy, and they on online there is a bunch of Generation 2 commercials where they're rapping to some of the figures. They're literally rapping like, "Dreadwing is menacing, something." It's if you ever have the chance, this is a shout out to Diamond Bolt. You have some great content, great videos, dude. Look up Diamond Bolt and look and see what how his reactions are to on commercials and stuff from Transformers, like mainly Generation 2. It's hilarious. Oh my god.
Well, the other thing too is, and James, listen in, because back in the early 90s, and I kind of studied it a little bit when I was studying graphic design in college. A lot of the stuff, G2 Megatron is one of my favorite designs because of how retarded it was. That's handicap Megatron. Yeah, I made it real big in Iowa. All that messed me up. He was green and
green and purple.
Oh, that's right. He had that green and purple camouflage color. Yep. Now I remember. Yeah,
it literally made no sense, but it was.
I don't know. Yeah, that. Why would you color it that? That's like vomit. Yeah, that's what it is. It's straight up like vomit. He had a sticker that said Megatron
rules.
Did he really? Shut up. Megatron rules. That's hilarious. Yeah, that's like a Acid Storm figure, but But see, back to what I was saying. In the early '90s, there were all like late '80s, early '90s. He should have had one that said "Girls Aloud."
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay.
That had all these crazy color schemes.
Yeah, they did. Like Bruticus was yellow, white, red.
Now, which one of that set was blue? Because I'll admit, I do like that shade of blue.
Superion.
G2.
I think.
Here, let's do this figures. I'm just looking it up right now. Because we gotta fact check it, motherfucker.
Scatterstream was pink, hot pink, and urban camel.
Oh, that's straight up vomit colors.
What the fuck?
That's just fucking disgusting. Now, he was part of the Wreckers.
Pyro, yep.
Pyro.
Yeah.
Which is pretty good. Oh, we should have done something like that. Go back and make me one. Go back to the drawing board. Fuck, that's better looking. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
You. Ramjet was badass looking.
Which one are we looking for? The Combaticons.
Yeah, they had a crazy. Yeah, just that's the. It doesn't really matter, but yeah, that's the Combiner Wars version, but that's the G2 colors.
So I do like that shade of blue they used. Or here. Yeah, that
Shit, I
shade
missed that
of blue.
comment.
Shade of blue I like. But
I like the packaging design though. That actually looks really cool. It's just that I think this is the G2.
yeah,
The
the
Combiners
graphics
look
are
like
nice.
a machine you'd use sex against the Tricks or Rabbit.
But see, then they did that G2
Oh my God.
reissue a few years back with
Yeah.
the Combiner Wars Bruticus in the color scheme, which looked cool, but it's like again, I like that shade of blue, but every time I see this one, the reissue for Combiner Wars, I don't know why, but it looks like when you go down to Garden Deli on the town square,
Right.
you go in and you see those different flavors of ice cream.
Right.
That's what it looks like. Look like they just painted it with ice cream. Like there's that ice cream flavor called Superman. That's exactly what this looks like. They just took all that ice cream and just painted it with those wacky colors. But there you go. You can get me that. You can make me one of those for free for my birthday.
Okay.
I'm just kidding. You don't have to.
Red.
What was it?
Dreadwing?
Dreadwing.
Dread-
Oh, yeah, Dreadwing. He was in the comics.
Wing.
Working for Shockwave. I remember that now.
I think it's this one. Yeah.
Is it this?
And they have this kind of very terrible CGI at the moment.
God. I mean, if you're a big Dreadwing fan, okay, but... oh, man. Yeah, that's definitely early 90s.
Yeah, definitely.
Like, what would that be, like 91, 92, something like that?
I think so.
They're trying so hard to be Run DNC. That's all I like, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I got nothing against Run DNC. They were cool,
Yeah.
but yeah. They were doing their knockoff version of Run DNC. That's what it was. G2 figures. But yeah, I mean...
Like, the G2 comic is not terrible. I only have one issue because Wei Zhang DMC.
We Jang DMC.
Damn
That's
it.
a good... oh, man, Bishop should use that for an episode name.
Yeah, he should.
Oh, James should. Or no, Bishop.
Bishop, yeah.
Make Bishop / Mako Aspire should use that as a TKO.
Wei Zhang DMC.
Episode 70, Wei Zhang DMC. And then episode 71 would be Jimmy Jang.
Jimmy
Jong, Jimmy Jang.
LL Takasa Tony.
Cassis Tony.
Yeah, that's where a lot of the freaking KOs come from. Like, KO Wheeljack is supposed to say TOMY and it says Tony.
You know what I just thought of?
What?
Okay, so this is a G2 Bumblebee figure, Goldbug. I just remembered from the DairyCon exclusives, Fred actually used a shit ton of these figures and just had them repainted, professionally repainted to be DairyCon exclusives.
Oh, wow.
I'm not kidding. Seriously, I'm not kidding.
That's
Because
awesome.
you look, when you get a chance, go on their website and just look at the past exclusives they had. It's
Look at that.
some of them are this straight up mold, just repainted.
Look at that Megatron, though.
Where
The green and purple, man.
It's like what's that, James? What's that fat dude from McDonald's, the purple one? What the hell is his name?
Grimace.
Is it Grimace?
It's Grimace.
It looks like he threw up. All over. The Grimace.
Yeah, Grimace.
Ronald
my
McDonald's
God.
retarded friend
Yeah, pretty much.
that he just feels sorry for. That's the only reason why he has him.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like G2 Megatron was all green and black, and Grimace threw up all over him, and ew. Like, yeah.
Yeah.
This Megatron is a KO. Like Hasbro just KO'd themselves. Oh, James, you guys say that, but in the voice of Bill Cosby, and send it to John and I, because that would be
great.
Oh
Oh
God.
my god.
No, you see, I went to McDonald's the other day, and Grimace started to eat my balls and gargled my nuts a little bit, and I don't remember much.
All right, let's see what they got.
God, send me that. Oh fuck, James. I should try to make a CD of all the recordings of you doing Bill Cosby and put it on a CD because that shit is so funny. But I have no idea how to do that. See, I like Pyro.
Yeah, Pyro
But-
looks really good.
It's dangerously close to like ugly vomit colors.
Like Optimus was pretty much the same, except I think they
now that's the G2.
that's G2 Sideswipe, which actually is not bad. And then you got Slag, who actually had green instead of blue.
Now that just looks like some piss
So-
poor Mexican Christmas ornament.
It
No,
does,
seriously.
it does, it
James,
does.
James, look at this G2 Snarl Transformers figure. It straight up looks like some shitty Hobby Lobby Mexican Christmas ornament.
It gets worse.
Well, they did that for all of them?
Or is he red? Oh, there's a red and green one for Slag. What the fuck? Then there's
So there's
So
a
it's-
red and gold one, and then there's a green and gold one.
and then what else they got here?
Well, I think the red looks better.
Cosby left a voicemail. Oh my god.
Do I dare play? Fuck
you
yes.
do, you do dare.
We're doing this live right now.
Oh hell yes.
Downloading audio. Okay, so it's taking a bit.
Okay.
But no, wait, click that one. That
This one?
look-
Right
yeah,
here?
that one looks cool.
Yeah,
Oh, that's a decent one.
the Optimus was pretty dope.
All right, James, here we go.
And I've got the problem to say they let me have the release program from SCI Phoenix. And I went to McDonald's to get my lunch because they had the 2-for-4 meal. And before I could even sink my teeth into a delicious hamburger, the Grimace came up from behind me and ate my balls, see? I didn't even know.
Oh my god. This is great. You can hear us laughing in the background. That's great. Oh my gosh. Oh.
It came up and started gargling my balls, you see.
Oh, that's awesome.
James, I fucking
That's-
love you for this. Oh,
Okay,
God.
well, all right. Remember,
James, seriously, the one day I was having a really shitty day and you sent me a couple of those voices and that made everything so much better. So again, thank you so much. Please don't stop doing this unless you need a break. So, but anyways, man.
this is the G2 Jazz.
Oh yeah, James got a new house.
Yeah, I know you did.
He's a house
Yeah,
owner,
yeah.
so congrats on that again,
Congratulations,
dude.
James.
Yeah, is that Jazz?
Yeah, it's Jazz.
Oh, he's got a gay pride rainbow. James, the G2 Jazz has a gay pride symbol on the side of his car.
It's supposed to be music notes, and
No, it's not. It's a rainbow. That's a straight up rainbow.
there's a music note right there.
Click that one. Oh, is that a reissue or a?
It says Transformers Universe. So.
Oh, well, click that one. Is that one? Click that one. That straight up looks like a rainbow right there.
That's a music note right there. Dude, G2 was all over the place, man. And I think that's it for G2. There's nothing. Oh, well, there's Optimus. That's MP10,
No.
actually.
Oh yeah, that is a.
Is that MP10?
That was an MP.
Yeah, it's MP10.
Oh, man, I was gonna say, did they? What other? I think that's a question we should submit for TKO. What is the ugly? What do you think is the ugliest Transformer from any? I would say, and
if I was gonna say the ugliest Transformer, despite how terrible G2 Megatron looks, I'd be like,
I think. Okay, why don't we do this? We'll both say what we think is the ugliest, but then we'll also submit this question for the TKO guys.
Yeah.
Not the worst, but just you look at it and it's ugly.
Ugly, like.
Yeah.
Yeah. So.
You go.
I honestly think it'd be despite of how chunky and cheesy it looks, I'd have to say. Cosby left more voicemail by the way.
Oh God.
I'd have to say okay.
Okay, without a doubt, it's
definitely that one.
You were gonna say Repugnus?
No, I was not gonna say Repugnus. I was gonna say G2 Megatron, but.
Okay, so you're saying G2 Megatron is the ugliest?
Yeah, like the paint, just the color in general. They could have went with basic desert green or something. I think a dark green or an actual legit camouflage would make it a little more edgier. Speaking of him, he's right there. That's the robot mode.
I literally Googled ugly Transformer toys, and the G2 Megatron came up.
Oh my God, there's that one. Freaking the side swipe from Armada. Oh, that was a terrible figure too. I had that once in my hand. My uncle had it at the time. I don't even know if he even has it, but it's just like ugh. And then you got, why is MP10 saying it's the ugliest Transformer?
It probably got tagged somewhere. G2 Slag looks like a Christmas potato. Okay, yeah, he does look like that, but he looks more like a shitty Mexican Christmas tree ornament. I'm just saying that. I'm not saying that to sound racist or anything. I'm just saying he looks like a shitty Christmas ornament. But speaking of Christmas ornaments, quick side note, I seriously think the Transformers Beast Wars Tigertron with that green chrome color he's got, he looks like a Christmas ornament. You can just hang up there. You can just take it off your collection shelf, just hang him up on the tree, and it serves two purposes. So, you're saying
G2 Megatron.
G2 Megatron. I have to say this fucking ugly thing, which is Repugnus.
Yeah, he does look. That looks more like a Decepticon than an Autobot.
That's an Autobot? I thought it was a Decepticon.
It's an Autobot right there. See the symbol?
I always thought he was. See, that is just the ugliest son of a bitch
looks like
Transformer I ever saw. Like,
it looks like something JC would
I was just thinking the same thing. Like I want to buy a bunch of these and just take a shotgun and just practice shooting. Like I want to take one, shoot it with a shotgun. You throw it up in the air. I'll say pull, shoot it. I want to strap one to a rocket with a bunch of firecrackers and blow it up. Because of how ugly this fucking thing is. Even the cartoon animation is see, it looks like something out of Ghostbusters, which would be understandable because it's Ghostbusters. But this ugly son of a bitch, like Jesus Christ, looks like an abortion that transforms. James, what do you think of Repugnus? Do you think this son of a bitch is ugly? I sure as hell think it's...
Even the Power of the Primes.
But that was an Amazon exclusive, though, wasn't it?
I have no idea. But
James, do you remember? I think that was an Amazon exclusive.
Go back. It looks like he's like... It looks like he's trying to fly. Like, Repugnus is cool.
No, he's fucking ugly.
Looks like he's trying to fly.
I have more respect for Waspinator than this piece of shit. I do.
It was an Amazon exclusive, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Just like, he just came out. Oh, Punch and Counter Punch.
Yeah.
I thought that was pretty cool. Because I think that's what Amazon's going to do. They're just going to do Amazon exclusive figures.
Mm-hmm.
For now on. But, okay, so one of us should submit that question for TKO.
Yeah.
So that's the ugliest. These are the... Repugnus does look like Little John with those glasses.
He said Google it.
I laughed so hard, James, I farted.
God damn
I
it.
just dropped ass. Making it real
Oh my
big
God.
in my pants.
Jesus Christ.
All right, so what was it? Little John, Little Wayne,
Little John
Little John
without glasses.
without.
What the hell?
No, look at this one. So, okay, James, there's a picture of little Wayne, right? Yeah, Little Wayne without his glasses on, and then next to it is a picture of the dude from Beetlejuice with a shrunken head.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's so rough.
Oh my God.
Oh, God.
This is getting off. This is starting to
People
get
are
off the rails a little bit.
I don't care. I'm having fun doing
Yeah,
this.
this is great.
This
This is fucking great.
Fuck it. It's a lot. Oh, he just looks like he's flat out stoned in the picture. Oh, maybe that's why he wears those glasses. 'Cause he's... Oh my God, that's probably a mile of distance between his eyes. I'm such an asshole. Oh my God, he look. I'm sorry, but that just looks bad.
God.
Maybe there's a reason why
Oh.
why don't any Transformer names start up little. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay. Or okay, so that was the ugliest Transformer. We'll send that in to the guys. But what do you think is the best looking Transformers figure? Can be any a KO, a Masterpiece, any. What do you think is the all time best looking figure? Because I'm going to honestly in my collection. You can only pick one. Honestly, I think it would have to be my custom IDW Rodimus. It looks completely accurate with the IDW comic books. It looks great. What does it say? Young
Fly
Wheels.
Wheels feature hubcap.
Oh my God! I gotta write that down. That's too good. That's too good to miss.
Honestly, for me, fuck, I really don't know. I have way too many good figures in my collection, to be honest.
And what did you say? Young Hoist. Little Fly Wheels.
What was it? What was it again, James?
Young Fly. No, Little Fly Wheels and Young Hoist. That's.
Or was it Hubcap or Huffer?
Whatever. So that's a Transformers rap group right there. Shit, son.
But yeah. Anyways, it's hard for me to say, but if I could pick one, and only one.
Even if it's a good looking KO, it can be even something in that range, or a good looking custom. It can be any of those. And like I said, it's the IDW Rodimus I have.
I'd have to say one of my old customs, honestly, would have been the jet powered Optimus Prime that I did myself.
Nice.
But then got out of whack and parts fell off, and now it just sits there on the shelf. And
You should paint him up so it looks like JC got done with doing a bunch of meth in Iowa. I used to make it real big, but now I just make it big with Bill Cosby.
but
I had a Jeep and it all went to hell. Oh, okay, we gotta play this. We gotta play these ones.
oh my god,
Hey, I got a question for you. Who leads the happy meal when Ronald McDonald's retarded friend comes up from behind you and gives you a Moab? Usually, for those who don't know, a Moab is when you put your mouth over someone's ass and butthole. Moab. My whole philosophy on these G2 color schemes, I don't care if they're rainbow, because it's just like my career in the 90s and early 2000s. Just like, you don't ask, you don't tell. someone says, hey, Mr. Cosby, XYZ, and I find out my pudding pop is still out of its wrapper.
Still out the trapper, you say.
That's fucking great.
So someone needs to take a Beast Wars Striker and make it into JC's mom.
Oh my god. Oh shit.
So I'm gonna, yeah, that's what he said. Okay, I was gonna pull the chat up, but wait, what does Beast Wars Striker look like?
I have no idea.
Beast Wars Striker. Beast Wars.
I think he spelled it wrong. It's STRIK, I think.
No, actually do Starscream and B&B. Okay.
BB is JC's mom.
Oh. Starscream is dirt. You know what? We should or no, what am I thinking? Bishop already did that. He already did custom Transformer figures of all the TKO guys as combiners, but didn't do one of JC's mom or Derp or any of us famous listeners. But no, I
don't think Bishop can make a custom as good as
D13, Starscream, and BB. Okay, now I get it.
But I don't think it'd be hard to say. Like if Bishop made a custom figure of me, I don't know if he would succeed honestly, because
that's just it. Bishop doesn't do customs for other people. He does it for himself.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
So if we wanted to do custom Transformers of ourselves, you would have to do it. Transmute. I'm looking these up because sometimes I forget what these characters.
Transmutate was like a
Beast Wars. Yeah.
It was like a ugly problem child, and it was so terrible.
James.
Oh, it's like.
Oh, I remember that episode.
Like, I would have much rather seen Transmutate look like that instead of whatever it came.
The Prime RC mold was way better than this.
Because we didn't know what Transmutate was. Was it a
It was something. Imagine that shit falling asleep.
Falling asleep in your back. Oh god.
Fuck no. Okay, James. This thing honestly looks like something out of either Star Trek or Star Wars. It looks like the Borg from Star Trek had an abortion, and this is what it was. You better plug your phone in. Yeah, grab your card. But okay, so James or whoever's listening, who do you think Bedbugs would be? And who do you think Bishop would be? And who do you think Yuli Blama would be? Let's just start going down the line.
Well, obviously, I don't know who I would be, so...
You don't know who you would be?
Nope.
I have to take this bad boy out.
Maybe like... Bedbugs would be Energon Snow.
Energon Snowcat?
Yep. Oh my god.
Okay, I don't know who that looks like.
Oh god.
Allow. Energon
Snowcat.
Where's Energon Snowcat? That.
What the hell?
Oh, is it charging still?
Yeah, it's charging. I think you're.
Oh, it does that sometimes. It's Microsoft. Okay, so Energon Snowcat looks exactly like my G.I. Joe custom-made Snowcat vehicle, which they probably based it off of that as an Easter egg for the G.I. Joe fans. No, that does make sense, James, that Bedbugs would be that.
Would be Snowcat. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so who would Bishop be? Or Mako Spire be? But I think James, Tyler as the Transmutate, man, that's rough. It's so rough. God.
Bishop would be Psycho.
Oh
Oh my gosh.
So he gets to be the knockoff. See, I was right. Look, it's the same shape and everything.
Yeah.
I was right. Psykill.
Which is GoBots.
Who is now a Transformer
Yeah, because Hasbro bought the rights to GoBots.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
you're right. Yeah, man, that's fucking weird they did that.
Yeah.
But okay, so wait. Okay, James, who would Bill Cosby be as a Transformer?
Oh no.
Obviously. I could see Yule being Dirt Boss. I don't remember who Dirt Boss
He's
was.
from Transformers Cybertron, and also not only that, he was also a few other figures, like that's the one from Revenge of the Fallen, and then there's the animated, and then there's Cybertron.
Hey, oh yeah, it's right here. When does this come out? Because I'd love to get my hands on it, just because that looks great. Cosby would be Armada Sideways.
Oh, that is a terrible figure.
Why? Because he turns into a shitty.
Or the building. Cosby would be, or the budding.
They're budding. Oh.
Pudding pop bot.
No, that's the KO name. There's the pudding pop bot usually. But see, that looks more like an Insecticon.
Yeah.
That looks more like an Insecticon, but it's a motorcycle.
Yeah.
No, it looks like the bike from Purple Rain, Prince.
No, there's no pudding pop bot.
Oh, I said it wrong. Sorry. But usually I bought this bike from Prince, and now I can turn into a robot with it, and zippity zappity, woo, you can't catch me, you see. I can't do it as nearly as good as James. But
yeah, and the minicon was literally turned into a biker. They combined into a biker.
which is so fucking dumb. Like, okay, I'll admit it was cool to see in the '86 movie with the Junkions doing that and taking turns.
Mm-hmm.
But besides that, this just looks freaking dumb.
And who rides a purple and yellow bike?
Prince. I was just kidding. He had a bike in Purple Rain. It was that purple motorcycle. So I think we got Cosby sent us another voicemail.
You probably did.
Yep. All right.
If I could be any Transformer, past, present, or future, you see, I would probably be the Reflector, because that way I could actually interface with the Kodak film, you see.
It's a Kodak moment, you see. Oh, fuck, man. God damn.
All right,
you're
James,
funny.
what about me and Welty? What Transformers would we be?
Yeah, what Transformers would we be? That would be really cool. So, we just sent us a new one. I'm gonna pull it up.
And then also, I could take pictures of bitches when they're asleep, you see. And store them in my database still.
Yeah, and then he's gonna upload them to Pornhub. You see.
Yeah. It looks like he's thinking right now.
Okay, so we got those down, and I think I just thought of one more that we could do. What is your favorite exclusive? Do you have any favorite exclusives? Whether it be DairyCon, BotCon, TFCon, you guys would be the cons. Oh, I can't argue with that. That's a good idea.
That's good. Oh my gosh.
I can't argue with that.
No,
That would be a
no.
really good idea.
Wait.
James, I could see Bishop making those for us with TKO colors, and on it says Fanboys. That would, that'd be fucking great.
Exclusive wise,
Because I know technically you don't have any.
I don't really have any.
But what do you think would be your favorite if you did have any?
Well, I'd have to say I know some of the customs that for you were pretty much like repaints for exclusives. And if I was to pick one, it would be the Kingbats? The red and white Bumblebee?
Oh, King Bolt?
Yeah, King Bolt. Yeah,
King Bolt was a Japanese only character.
It was an exclusive, right?
No. The Transformers BotCon 2014 exclusives never did that.
Back to Yule, he'd be Cosmos.
Now that I think about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a custom one he made for me.
Okay.
They never did that as an exclusive, which they should have, but
Okay. Well, I guess.
because most of mine are just BotCon exclusives.
Yeah, like probably. Fuck. I don't know. It'd be what about Jinrai?
Yeah, they did an exclusive Jinrai
Okay,
for
so
2014.
that was a good repaint though. Like if I picked one
Yeah.
exclusive, it would be Jinrai. Yeah.
Jinrai was pretty cool. I'd have to say my favorite BotCon exclusive or set or package would be the BotCon 2014 Pirates vs. Knights. Even though I didn't go to that, it was still cool because you got that big box with all the figures in it, and then you got the other figures you could have an option to get or not.
Right.
But that were outside of the box. Then you got like the certificate of
Authenticity
and the pins that came with it and a T-shirt and Scottimus would be G1 Unicron prototype. Oh, that shitty prototype, that big round one with the shitty curved arms.
Yep.
Oh. Oh my god.
Oh my. That
Would Bill Cosby pay him a visit? Say, little boy,
probably.
I want you to see my pudding pop and just relax because I'm gonna go zippity zappity all over you.
Honestly, I think I've been pissing him off on Instagram because
You pissed him off on Instagram.
Yeah. Like
Okay, JC.
no, I mean like what I said earlier because
Look at that toy and tell me it doesn't say "Drive me to Target, Mom." Oh, I gotta see this Unicron
G1 prototype.
G1 Unicron prototype.
Look at that fat fuck. It looks like
Oh man.
It looks like you have to carry. It looks like because Orson Welles was a big guy, wasn't he?
Yeah, when he was doing the voice of this, his health was really declining and he was getting really sick. And I think it was like a couple days after he did that voice, like he died.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, it does scream, "Take me to Target, mommy." Hey guys.
didn't he like tell some old lady at a store once to buy him a Transformers toy?
I have no
because
idea.
he was autistic or making some piss poor excuse. It's like that.
Yeah, it's.
And JC made a good point one time in the chat that, yeah, I knew it. And JC made a good point. He said, with kids and people like that, and how shitty their parents are.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this not to sound like a dickhead or anything, but I'm saying this because, it's the truth, the unfortunate truth that a lot of people and kids that are like that, in Scottimus's case, are going to end up in some sort of a place or institution because, unfortunately, when I was in school, some of the kids I went to school with, a couple of them did actually end up
in a mental institution.
And one of them ended up in an institution, but that was because he was partially autistic, but also apparently his dad was abusing him, and that just fucked him up completely. So unfortunately, Scottimus will end up in a place like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, but the only way he's like that is because shitty parenting.
More likely, probably like.
But and then he goes around on YouTube and harasses other people.
That too is not right. And I watched some of his content on YouTube, including a very not poorly made stop motion Optimus Prime. I'm like,
yeah, they could put him on a path
to independence.
That is true, but unfortunately, with see, that's the problem. Is like there's some parents that like have no fucking clue what to do with their kids that have issues like autism or Asperger's or whatever. They have no fucking clue.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, well, I don't know what the fuck to do, so I'm just gonna fart around on my phone, and they just get caught up in their own bullshit that they can't
Pretty much
put their kid in front first and say, I gotta get my kid help. You know, my brother knows someone like that he goes to school with, and that kid's autistic, and he, you know, people like that need help. And so again, the only reason why Scott Adams is like that is because of shitty parenting, and on top of that, he's autistic. So it's all complex. It's all fucked up. But
it is. It's.
But then, see, on the other hand, going back to the shit he pulls, it's like, really?
It's like, how I don't know how old he is, honestly.
See, like this one here, okay, so it's Unicron in robot form and then Unicron in planet mode. So, like, if Scott Adams gets scared, he turns into a shell. Like,
apparently he's the same age as I am.
Nuh-uh. How old are you?
I'm 25.
And he's that old?
Yeah, he's 25.
Jesus
I thought
Christ.
he was like 27, honestly. But, you know.
Oh, God.
You know, Scott Adams really has his own issues and crap, so.
Yeah, it just.
Yeah.
But.
No. Can't feel sorry for everybody. No.
Oh, James, what about that douchebag, J.D. Matthews?
Oh,
what
God.
shitty Transformer do you think he would be? Again, fuck that dude. That dude is a piece of shit.
Fucking faggot. Oh, I'm sorry. Can't say the word faggot.
You already
Don't want to offend anybody. Oh my God.
You already got in trouble on Facebook for that.
Facebook. Jesus Christ.
That's the price we pay for hanging out with JC.
True. JC, we blame you.
Yeah. Goddamn Iowa. Your goddamn shithole of corn. Corn and shit. Ugh. But, oh man, yeah, and that people like J.D. Matthews or anyone that is just a douchebag or a piece of shit. People like that are in every single kind of hobby and every single kind of fandom. There's always going to be some douchebag. It would be the
Animorphs storyline.
I barely remember Animorphs from Nickelodeon.
I tried reading the book once and I never did. And I tried
I like the Photoshop stuff they did for those covers. That's pretty good.
That's cool. Yeah.
Animorphs.
Worst Transformers ever.
Animorphs toy line. Oh my God! Are you kidding me?
Fuck.
So they're basically Transformers
with human heads.
It's like a weird No, it's a Beast Wars KO.
Pretty much. Yeah.
James, that's what these are. They're Beast Wars KO figures.
Wait, click on the one that looked like the Scorpion. What the fuck?
Oh my God! Oh, that was the villain.
It was made by Hasbro.
Wow.
What?
Wow. Oh, my phone's going off. I ordered a bunch of shit on Amazon. Made by Hasbro. Wow. Yeah. See. You did all that. Oh, you're getting a low battery.
Yeah, it's supposed to be charging.
Why do you have to act up now? Oh, go back in. Click allow.
There were legit Transformers.
No shit.
What? Yeah.
Oh yeah, it says Transformers.
Deluxe Animorphs.
So was like Animorphs the show a spin-off of Transformers, or was it just its own thing and they just put Transformers on the packaging?
I'm pretty sure they just put Transformers on the packaging.
Probably just to make more money. Yeah.
Yeah, because there were human beings that turned into animals, and from what I saw in some of the little previews of the show, that the freaking alien that came.
No, it was like Star Wars and Marvel Transformers. Oh, okay.
Oh, so it was like a crossover thing.
Okay. Wow, I know there was a series of books in a show, but I didn't know there was a toy line.
The Beast Wars Megatron looks better than this piece of crap right here. Like there's
that looks like
in that photo right there is. See, there's Beast Wars Megatron, and then there's that. That's like, What the fuck?
Are they ripping apart? Which one is that? Are they ripping apart?
It's a
Inferno.
squid guy. I forgot his name, but he was in Beast Wars 2.
Is it this? No.
As a powder puff ranger thingy.
Powder Puff. Oh, dude, I just thought of something. Powder Puff Ranger. If JD had to be a legit Transformer.
Oh, really in drag.
Ooh.
Whoa.
Ooh, touche. We're like the type of guys in drag from like the Birdcage, because that's a funny movie.
Oh, I've seen it. Ron Williams classic.
There we go, Animorphs storyline. Oh, I had no idea you could get.
That looks terrible.
That looks white trashy right there, dude. The lion one looks kind of white trashy.
Looks like a.
Oh, it's a girl. Well,
It looks like what's his name? What's his name from? Joe Dirt had sex with a lion. That's that's his daughter. Or Ryan X putting lipstick on a gun of hot dogs. What? Wow.
ugh. Wow, I seriously had no idea there was a toy line. I really shouldn't be surprised because in the 80s and 90s there was a shit ton of toy lines. Yeah, this was the bad guy from Animorphs, this alien centaur dude. That's basically what Animorphs was. They were organic Transformers.
In a way, yeah. But,
And it was a 90s thing, so
yeah.
they came up with a lot of crazy shit in the 90s.
And I was born in '93.
It was like the 90s. It was a good JC Custom
base would be Beast Wars 2 Galvatron. Oh, okay. I know which one they're talking about.
I don't know. Beast Wars
2 Galvatron. That guy.
for JC.
Mm-hmm.
That
It's like salty.
just
America.
America,
Trump.
salty. Making it real big. Wow. Well, this was only in Japan too, because it kept.
Or alternator swindle. Oh, the Jeep.
Oh, that's even better because it's Jeep. Making it real big.
Give him give him like a Make America Great Again hat.
No, he had the one idea to take the Jeep cover on the back of it and have the TKO logo printed and
Yeah,
put it on the side.
that'd be really cool. Yeah.
And then that would be cool, and then have a small TKO sticker like this and put it on the door.
Since it turns into a Jeep, it looks like a dude with no shirt on, wearing shorts and a sandal.
We're out here with dirt, making it real big in Iowa. We got some meth. We're gonna feed to the fish while we're fishing.
Since that's
JC.
JC, yep.
I gotta say, I love JC because he's so funny, and I
Yeah.
love that laugh he has.
Yeah.
He's got that laugh, just it's contagious. So when you hear it, it starts making me laugh or giggle. And
He's like a cartoon character too.
in a way, yeah.
he
but,
is.
but I mean, yeah, sometimes I know he really likes Trump, but okay, whatever. But besides that, he's
Derp would be
he's a
our
good guy.
RID Starscream.
Oh god, what if you got these figures and customized them to look like those dudes,
Oh my
and you did a
God.
stop motion animation of them fucking around on the Mississippi River next to Iowa? Oh, look at that over there is shithole Wisconsin with them fat bitches.
God damn it.
Them fat bitches. Bill Cosby can have them fat bitches. Goddamn shithole Wisconsin. Real big. This has definitely been off the rails,
It has
but
been.
I love it. If I have nothing else to do later this weekend, I might just go back and listen to us.
Oh yeah, of course.
I don't mean to sound like a narcissist, but I mean, shit. Oh, fuck. James, do you have any questions while we're here? Any questions at all? Maybe you could give us at least, I don't know, 3 more questions, and then we could wrap it up.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
Or 3 or 4 more questions.
James has been the longest viewer on episode
Thank
2
you.
of the TKO Fanboys.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank
James.
you. Thank you, James. Are there any pudding pops at the end of this? I'm glad you asked that, you silly, because... Oh, man. Oh, James, I found another video on YouTube of It was someone from the Howard Stern show doing an impression of Bill Cosby, and he called up a pharmacy and was asking about, yes, you see how I'm trying to help my girlfriend sleep. Do you have anything that'll knock her ass out?
Wow.
And the lady at the pharmacy was like, well, have you tried melatonin? Yes, that might work. Do you have anything stronger, like the Quaalude or the NyQuil, or maybe I could just feed her a couple of pounds of turkey with the tryptophan, you see? Okay, legit question. How do you guys feel about movie toys, especially the new studio series? I'll let you go first on this one because I got to think for a minute.
Honestly, the Studio Series stuff looks great. You know, I've been out of Bayformers for quite a while, from some time now. Like, the MP stuff for the movie Masterpiece stuff actually looks pretty legit, but, you know, if I would want to get the movie Masterpiece stuff, I'm going for it. But, honestly, it seems like Hasbro is making figures too small. So if I did have the legitimate all movie collection stuff, I want to make sure that scales with the other figures. Even though they're supposed to be like, oh, we're going to make accurate scalings for these figures.
Yeah.
And then they're making like, okay, if you're going to go with scale, try to make Blackout a little bit bigger because, you know, a helicopter is supposed to be this huge freaking thing.
Yeah, well,
you know?
I saw a picture of the Wei Zhang Blackout figure. He's
yeah.
big.
Yeah, he's huge.
Like, that's pretty good. And I have to say, I know, and a lot of people are upset about this.
Siege leaders being Siege leaders being $50, but oh man, I missed that. But can you just look at that question again
I'll
in the
try
chat?
to bring up the chat. But see, I think what I've seen is the only ones I like from the Studio Series ones are the Transformers Bumblebee, Volkswagen Bumblebee figure.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to get the Takara one because I think that will be better because it has more detail and depth with the paint and color scheme.
Right.
And I really like the Studio Series Stinger figure. I got two of those because I liked them that much. And I'm going to get the KSI Sentry drone. Because I do like the movie figures, but I just think they could put a little bit more effort into them. Because if you get the Takara versions of those figures, it's got more spots on it painted. But then, see, I got the Movieverse Bumblebee figure from Wei Zhang, and that one is really good.
Yeah,
so it's like a masterpiece movie version
So
of
the new
Bumblebee.
leaders are 50 and smaller, but the same crowd paying for legend scales are paying the same price, and they're 1/3 the size.
Yeah, okay, so your question was, and a lot of people are upset about the Siege leaders being 50, but Magic Square Magnus legend scale figure is 50 as well, and no one complains. So the new leaders are 50 and smaller, but the same crowd buying legend scale figures are paying the same price for figures that are 1/3 the size.
Well, okay, well, I think probably the best way to answer that question is, why would you be complaining about a $50 legend scale figure that's probably made in better quality from Magic Square when there comes the other leader class figures that are actually like, hey, this is what Hasbro's throwing out, and they're not up to what they want them to look like, and that's where they're, I don't know, like, honestly, I saw the Siege line, some of it looks really good. And yes, the figures are smaller, but I haven't had a Siege figure in my hands, but you know, if I watch some videos and stuff like that, then yeah, I would have to really look into it, because,
well,
you know, my scale for figures is a lot different than Chris's now, because I've been really getting into the MP and third party stuff, so I really can't. It's like when it comes with Marvel Legends and SH Figure Art figures, for example. Like, SH Figure Art figures, they come with more accessories, interchangeable heads, faces, hands, weaponry, and then you got the Magnus has a ton of paint, better engineering and articulation than the Prime Wars trilogy stuff. Okay. All right. True.
But see, I think I saw a picture of the from the Transformers Bumblebee, the Studio Series. What is it?
Rock kick or shatter?
Shatter, and
I don't really like the way that looks.
to
honestly.
me, that one just looked kind of. it looked smaller and really skinny.
I'm a majority of a third-party guy myself, just playing devil's advocate since many people devil's advocates and default.
Yeah, I'm kind of
yeah.
In my case, I've been kind of doing masterpiece, third party or custom work because I'm picky with what I want or what I need. That's just me though, but not everyone's gonna go that route that I'm on. But no, John and I have talked about this, and we think that a lot of times the KO or the third party guys like Wei Zhang or Jimmy Jang or whatever the hell it is.
I would say MP and third party.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think those guys are doing better than Hasbro and Takara.
Yep.
And
the one thing, this is another thing. I'm sorry if I cut you off, Chris, but a lot of people are starting to complain about the tune accuracy that they're going with the MP route now, of them instead of making them like having the panel lines and make somewhat like a toy and real, like a toy, not like something that comes off the screen. Don't get me wrong, I absolutely dig MP36. That's one of my favorite MP figures, and of course have the animation, how animation accurate that thing is. And then you have the MP Sunstreaker, which looks phenomenal. And then you got all the other figures, the other MP figures I have, like Sideswipe, G2 Sideswipe, but Wheeljack, the Dotson brothers. You can definitely tell how things really changed with the figures. So
yeah, and like I said, I'm picky with what I want, and I'm picky with what I want sometimes, and that's one of the reasons why I went with the Magic Square Optimus Prime, because it's G1. It's G1 cartoon accurate style.
On the note of accuracy, do you either of you guys get multiple versions of the same character? I try to avoid that, but I
didn't.
I got the multiple versions of the Dotson brothers, only the two. I don't have Prowl and Be Prowl. I do have Acid Storm and Thrust from the MP line, which is technically a heavy retool of what's his name. Thrust is a heavy retool of the MP Starscream, which is or MP Acid Storm, whatever one you're saying. And then who else? That's like I had from the movie series. I had multiples of the Sideswipe mold, which was just which was Swerve and what's his name, and just Sideswipe, which I tore apart Swerve and kept Sideswipe.
Well, I have a Masterpiece G1 Wheeljack, and then I have a custom made IDW Wheeljack from the comic books. Mm-hmm. But that one also kind of serves, at the same time for me, it serves as a Prime Wheeljack figure, so I don't have to get a third Wheeljack figure. I've got I've got at least 5 or 6 different Hot Rods / Rodimuses. I got the Transformers animated Hot Rod, both the Hasbro and the Takara version, just for comparison. And then I got a bunch of different Bumblebee figures. And then, of course, I gotta look here. I got,
and I also have
about
the
in my case.
Also have the multiples of the Arrow Alpha, which is the wing, and then their version of Deadlock, which they're pretty much the same figure except for just heavy, like a little bit of retooling here and there, and that's pretty much about it.
Yeah, because we talked, again, there's from Hasbro, Takara, third party, and KOs. There's all these different variations of a single character or groups of characters, and I'm content with sticking with one combiner. I mean, I don't count repaints, retools personally. Okay, yeah. True. But I have my Combiner Wars Superion, and I'm perfectly content with that. I don't really feel the need to get a third party KO, Superion, oversized Superion figure, because the one I have I'm perfectly fine with that.
Which I'm trying to get the third party oversized Superion.
Yeah, it's just whatever floats your boat. It's just whatever you feel is most comfortable with.
Right.
But you know, everyone's got to collect differently, you know, with what they need or want.
I don't sell my official stuff, so when I get a character gets updated, they go into alt mode.
That's not a bad idea.
It's not really.
No, so
my original Lambos and Datsuns are in car mode.
yeah, and that is kind of a cool idea because then you got one in car mode and one in bot mode for display, so you don't have to.
Like technically, I could get the G1 red sideswipe. I could, because it's just the G1 sideswipe. And red is one of my favorite colors, honestly. Red and black and blue and white.
But I got
a Apollyon and Sunsurge dropped in price, so I did the same for them. I used to have Apollyon. And then I got rid of it because I really didn't need it. Because I have the MP36, but if I did get a KO of MP36, I would have actually no issues with that. I would leave that in gun mode and put it somewhere. But the only problem is, I don't have enough space for it to put it in gun mode.
I was gonna say, I know I got a Combiner Wars custom made sideswipe to go with Sunstreaker, but now. Oh, of Sunstreaker?
Of the MP36 and.
Is that
KO
the Sunstreaker?
version. That's Megatron.
Oh, that's Megatron.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me.
Nice.
But see, I got the Fall of Cybertron sideswipe.
I got the KO version to mess around with.
Nice.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I messed around with the MP36. I transformed it a few times, but I haven't transformed it in quite a while because I don't want anything to break. And it's just that, do I really have the need of having a gun just transformed and put on my shelf? Like, yeah,
that'd be kind of cool.
And if I had the gun, I usually would like.
Well, you could have a Megatron in robot mode and a Megatron in gun mode or whatever. Two shows servers for collection, one for Optimus, one for Megatron. Yeah, I kind of got that with mine. I have a shelf where most of it is just, it's split up into sections. One section is Dinobots, one section is all of my different Bumblebees, and then Hot Rod / Rodimuses. So it's all organized in a way, and I got different versions of each one. Because, I mean, on the other hand, it is kind of cool to have different variations, but at the same time, it's like, at one point, how many Combiner Wars, Bruticus's, and Motor Masters do I need?
True.
You know, how many of those do I really need? Or,
that's true. Like,
I mean, one other route to go is you can buy 2 of every figure and have one in robot mode, one in car mode for display. So, your what hurts?
Excuse me. But yeah, some very good questions, James. Like,
yeah, you got any more questions? Well, I got a question. When did you discover you could do your impression of Bill Cosby?
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And, no, it's a good question. It's a legitimate question.
It's
a legitimate question.
It is.
Okay, so when did you discover you could do your...
High school.
Oh, God. Is there any good stories with this? Because if it's in high school, it's gotta be a good story. Excuse me, Miss Substitute Teacher. I forgot my Quaaludes, and now I have a mess in my pants. You see? Can I go to the bathroom? I'll just use the plant in the corner and take a dump. Get some fertilizer. It'll be a Kodak moment. You see? So, because I used to do a good impression of Chris Farley when he was on Saturday Night Live and he did the Matt Foley sketch, which is still one of the greatest comedy sketches of all time.
It all started innocent.
It all started innocent. Nice. And I had that whole skit and impression of Chris Farley nailed down, and then I just...
You will end up living down
in a van down by the river. And I had that nailed down, and I made a lot of people laugh. I used to work with a guy...
Just talking about pudding pops and saying... Kids say the damnedest things. Oh, my God.
And Ari Spears was funny. Yes, shout out to Ari Spears. His shit is still funny. God, I love Ari Spears.
This is fucking great.
Did you ever flirt with a girl in high school that in your Bill Cosby voice? Oh, God, that'd be hilarious. Excuse me, I couldn't help but notice that you're just gorgeous looking. Would you like to go to prom? I promise no pudding pop.
He's like, nah.
Oh, man. That would have been hilarious. I would have, you know what? I was really quiet. Yeah, I was kind of like that too sometimes. You know what? If I could have done a Bill Cosby impression when I was in high school, I would have just fucked with a substitute teacher.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I would have just fucked with them. Like, excuse me, you see, I need to use the bathroom and.
Yeah.
Oh
That's
man.
fucking great.
See, I mean, I hated high school though. I really did.
Yeah, it was.
I mean, I still like to learn, and I still went there because of that. I was an art kid. I had long hair.
Drew all day and dressed like I was in corn.
You were one of those guys.
I used to listen to a lot of Corn too. And Breaking Benjamin, Lincoln Park. Well, I still listen to Breaking Benjamin, Lincoln Park, Disturbed.
I don't really. Actually, now that you mention it, those guys when I was in high school, it was those guys, and Lady Gaga and Little John and Little Wayne.
Yep.
Those were popular in my high school here in Monroe.
Yeah.
But I mean, I hated high school, but I still wanted to get an education because I knew I'm like I gotta get the fuck out of here. And I mean, there were some funny moments too.
Yeah,
but,
there was. There was always a funny moment or two in high school. And
But then that's about it. It's
Yeah.
just enough to get you through. Because then you got all those dipshits in high school that just.
Don't get me started.
Oh,
Why are we
God.
talking about high school? We're supposed to be talking about Transformers, not high school. Chris here. No.
I know. I'm just trying to. I want to try to keep keep it going because I'm loving this so much.
Yeah, it's great. Don't get me wrong, it's great. But we're like,
An hour and a half or something
Yeah,
like that.
something.
Yeah, about an hour and a
I
half
think
ish.
but it says we started shooting
Hour 40 minutes. No.
It's 140 minutes and 54 seconds.
When did we start?
It's funny. The Cosby stuff got dark with me with when Justin Rowland did House of Cosby's.
Oh yeah, I was gonna send you a link to that because I wasn't sure if you had to remember that or not. So this was like, do you know about this? Okay, so Justin Rowland was obviously the creator of Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
So years ago, he had done some animation stuff because he was trying to play around with some ideas, and one of them was that I think this was like, yeah, I saw it when it came out in the early 2000s. Yeah, it was around that time. He came out with, I think it was right before he came up with The Real Adventures of Doc and Marty. It was right before that, and the idea of House of Cosby's was, it was Bill Cosby cloned himself, and now it's a house full of other Bill Cosbys running around and shit. And I wasn't sure if you'd seen that or not, James, because that shit is funny.
We look ridiculous in that frame, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna scroll down so we don't have to see our ugly selves.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was one of the shorts that Justin had done. Actually, it was a crazy fan who.
Stole Cosby's
Oh,
DNA
okay.
because he
Well, I was
wanted-
close with the whole cloning thing.
That's interesting, but okay.
God.
Shit.
House of Cosby's. Oh God, that'd be a great show. They're all running around on
show.
Quaalude and shit. Fucking bitches.
Oh, look at this Cosby boy.
Oh, I got my pudding pop stuck in
Pudding
something.
pop.
Oh, it's in another
And Cosby
meal.
Warriors got involved in the 5th episode. Cosby
Hey, everybody! Oh, you see, I was just going to town on everybody. GTA, motherfuckers, you see? Stick figure.
Oh, wow.
Oh, fuck. But yeah, shout out to Justin Rowland for making Rick and Morty. Keep in mind, this was 2004, 2005. Yeah, that was a very different time.
It was.
Some 15 years ago.
It's not how it was. It's not how it is nowadays.
No, because everyone is so sensitive, and I'll have you know.
God,
I find it very offensive.
I could prattle on and on about all this fucking shit that's been going on for the past week. About every fucking thing that's been going on.
Oh, because you're guard training?
No, not. I'm not talking about guard training. I'm just talking about people getting offended by everything nowadays.
Well, that's the thing. And James, listen to this one. I think it's like, okay, are you really offended by this? Or are you just saying you're offended because you want attention? Or are you just saying that because you're a flat out fucking moron and you're trying to ruin it for everyone else? Like, that's the real question. Are you really offended, or are you just wanting attention because you're an idiot?
Pretty much, yeah.
Because this whole, like, social justice warrior shit, that started as soon as I graduated from high school or college. I mean,
Intentions, acceptance, virtue signaling.
and it's also call out behavior too. And you know what it is? I heard this on the Joe Rogan podcast. He said, or his guest said that people get like a psychological high from calling somebody out because they think to themselves, oh, if I call this person out because I think they're being racist, and they're on there. Yeah, that's what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're like, oh, if I call this person out because I think they're being racist, everyone's gonna applaud me and make me feel like I'm the fucking hero. So it's also being a bit of a narcissist too,
Pretty much,
for
yeah.
sure. And it's that kind of mentality that's actually very toxic for you. Just because you don't agree with someone's ideas or values or whatever because they come from a different lifestyle than you do, that doesn't mean you have to be a fucking dickhead about it. And, you know, the call-out behavior thing, that's gotta fucking stop.
Yeah.
And they have been doing that and ruining college campuses for everybody that deserves a real education.
Yeah.
Because one of the whole points about going to college, I think, is you go there, you get an education, you explore new and different ideas, and you expand upon that, and you learn from it, because that's also part of life. That's just what you do. And you fucking dropped ass. Oh. Smells like Iowa.
But no, Chris, I think we should try to figure out how to start wrapping this up before we keep going further off the rails. I think
God. James fucking smells here. Oh.
It's just that yeah, I get what you're saying. It's just that there's
I don't want to taste that. God.
well,
That's not as bad as
well, I have to drop and do house shit. All right, it was nice talking, chatting with you for a bit, James. You say that out of fart. But, well, to end it, we would like to first off give another shout out to James Roberts, first longest viewer on the show.
No,
Thanks,
it's James Jordan.
James Jordan.
You said James Roberts. So I'm like, you're giving a shout out to the dude from IDW? Okay.
Okay, fine. But yeah.
Now we're off the rails even further.
Exactly. So
off the rails of off the rails.
James Jordan, thanks for viewing and
Yes.
joining us on this fine Friday afternoon.
Let everyone else know about our show too and about TKO.
Yep.
Because again, our show in a way it is about James. It's Mama Trump. Nice. Because our show is is about TKO.
It's a spinoff.
But it's also a spinoff, so we're doing our own thing too and talking about what we want to talk about and showing our support for TKO, making it real big. So that's the whole
TKO
point of our
guys,
show. Yeah.
Make small and medium t-shirts because my sister legitly took mine now.
Your sister took one?
She took my shirt and it's too big to fit my ass.
You mean hers? Sorry.
I'm not going to respond to that. So, but
well, you should tell her, hey, if you want the shirt, you should listen into the show. That should be the only reason why anyone gets these shirts is because they're a fan of the show. But whatever, I'm starting to talk into my ass.
Yeah, so we like to also dedicate this episode to Scarlett Johansson because the back of her head is so beautiful. And
beautiful.
But this show was brought to you by pre-workout, protein, pizza, Mountain Dew, women, booze, and alcohol.
The lifeblood of our program.
Yep.
But so, anyways, that is finally it. And
For TKO Fanboys, episode 2 is down the drain, and probably even going off the rails.
Of the rails, and so on and so forth.
Yep.
So I'm Chris Welty.
And I'm John Hansen. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you guys have a wonderful evening, afternoon.